I'd always known my neighbor Karen was a little too curious for her own good. She was the kind of person who noticed everything, who parked where, who ordered what and when packages arrived. But lately, her curiosity had turned into something more like an obsession. It started with my internet acting up. I'm a remote tech support engineer, and my job depends on a strong connection. So when my router began lagging out of nowhere, I assumed it was just an outage. But the problem kept coming back. Random drops, unusual spikes, and sometimes my security cameras would freeze. Late one night, I decided to run a full network scan. That's when I noticed it. A strange signal named Karen Guest connected to my router. I never created that network. My stomach sank. I opened the router logs and stared in disbelief. Someone had been accessing my Wi-Fi for days, maybe weeks. There were logins at 1:37 a.m., 2:50 a.m., even 3:12 a.m. when I was definitely asleep. That's when I saw it, an unfamiliar device ID connected to my router. The next morning, I unplugged everything and started checking cables. I lifted the router to dust underneath and froze. There, stuck with a thin strip of tape, was a tiny black device no larger than a car key fob. It had a blinking blue light and a small antenna. My heart started pounding. I'd seen similar devices before in cybersecurity work. It was a Wi-Fi tracker, capable of mirroring data and tracking usage. I gently pried it off and opened the back cover. Inside was a SIM card, meaning it wasn't just collecting information, it was transmitting it somewhere. Someone had gone to serious lengths to spy on me. I rushed to my laptop and pulled up my doorbell camera footage from the past few nights. There, 2:16 a.m., grainy but clear enough. A short figure in a hoodie creeping up my porch, gloved hands moving under my router shelf. When the person turned slightly, the porch light caught a glimpse of blonde hair tied in a bun. My jaw dropped. It was Karen. For a few seconds, I just stared at the screen. My neighbor had broken into my porch and planted a tracker under my router. I was furious. My first thought was to call the police. But then another idea hit me. Something that would make her regret ever spying on me. If she wanted to watch me, then I'd make sure the whole internet watched her. I smiled and whispered, "Game on." I spent the entire weekend setting up what I called Karen Vision. Every angle of her life was about to go public. Legally, of course. All the cameras were pointed from my property, nothing illegal, just enough to catch her constant snooping, gossiping, and bizarre routines. By Monday morning, the feed was ready. I created a private YouTube channel, unlisted, password protected, and sent the link to a few close friends who knew about my nosy neighbor problem. Within hours, word spread faster than I expected. Hundreds of people were watching Karen in real time, walking her dog, watering her plants, yelling at mailmen, and staring suspiciously at my windows. The live chat was blowing up with comments like, "She's looking for the next victim. Karen levels over 9,000. Bro, she's checking your trash again." Every move she made was being watched, just like she'd done to me. But the real entertainment began on day 2. I had installed a motion-triggered mic near the shared fence, and it picked up her phone calls. She was gossiping with her friend Linda, saying things like, "I know he's up to something. I saw him messing with that router again." The irony was delicious. Then, around noon, Karen started acting paranoid. She'd keep peeking over my fence, pacing around her yard, even pointing her phone toward my house as if she could sense something was off. Later that night, she marched to my door and started knocking like a police raid. "Open up! I know you're spying on me!" she yelled. I opened the door calmly, pretending to be confused. "Spying? You mean like planting a tracker on someone's router?" Her face froze. What are you talking about?" "Oh, you know," I said, pulling out the small black tracker and waving it in front of her. "Ring any bells?" She stuttered, trying to deny it, but the color drained from her face. I don't know what that is." I grinned. "Don't worry, Karen, the truth always comes out, especially when it's live." I turned my laptop toward her. The stream was open, thousands now watching her reaction live. The chat exploded with laughter and shock emojis. Karen gasped, realizing the world was seeing her meltdown in real time. "You can't do this to me!" she screamed, slamming my door before storming back to her house. But it was too late. The internet had already crowned her Spy Karen. And this was just the beginning. By the next morning, the video had blown up. What started as a private stream was now being clipped and shared all over Reddit and TikTok. People couldn't get enough of Spy Karen. Memes, remixes, even parody accounts popped up overnight. One clip of her yelling, "You can't do this to me!" had already hit 500,000 views. I thought the excitement would fade after a day or two, but that's when the Homeowners Association, the mighty HOA, decided to get involved. At 8 a.m., I got a knock on my door. Not Karen this time, but Mr. Peterson, the HOA president, holding a clipboard like a weapon. "Morning," he said sternly. "We've had complaints about unauthorized surveillance." I sighed. "Mr. Peterson, with all due respect, Karen put a tracker on my router. I just defended myself." He frowned. "That's not what Karen told us. She claims you're running some kind of spy operation and live streaming residents." "She's half right," I said. "Except the resident is her and I have proof." I showed him the doorbell footage of Karen sneaking onto my porch at night, placing the tracker under my router. His eyebrows shot up. This could be a criminal offense." "Exactly," I replied. She crossed a line. I just turned the mirror back on her. But the HOA wasn't exactly a fan of public drama. They didn't care about who started it, only that it made the neighborhood look bad. By the afternoon, Karen and I were both called to an emergency HOA meeting at the community center. Dozens of neighbors showed up, whispering and smirking. Karen tried to play innocent, crying fake tears. "He's harassing me. Everyone's laughing at me online." I calmly placed my laptop on the table, hit play, and projected the footage of her planting the tracker. The room went dead silent. Then someone in the back muttered, "Classic Karen." The crowd erupted in laughter. Even Mr. Peterson couldn't hide a smirk. Karen turned red with rage. "You'll regret this. I'll sue you for defamation." I stood up. "Sue me all you want, Karen, but maybe next time, don't spy on your neighbors." The HOA dismissed her complaint and warned her instead for trespassing and harassment. As I walked out, people were patting my back saying, "Finally someone put her in her place." But Karen wasn't done. That look in her eyes, cold, burning with revenge, told me she was planning something bigger. And I was ready for it. For a few quiet days, I thought it was over. The HOA had warned Karen, my live stream went viral, and peace had finally returned to the neighborhood. But I should have known better. Karen never gives up. On Thursday night, around midnight, my motion alert pinged again. Someone was outside, by the fence this time. I pulled up my camera feed and, of course, there she was. Karen in full stealth mode, black hoodie, gloves, flashlight. She was holding a pair of wire cutters. "Oh, no, you don't," I muttered, hitting record. She tried cutting my camera cables, thinking she'd stop the stream. But I had upgraded everything to wireless, solar-powered feeds. The moment she touched the sensor, my floodlights kicked on and my speakers blasted, "Smile, Karen. You're live again." Her scream echoed through the neighborhood. The chat on my stream went crazy. Thousands of viewers poured in instantly. Word had gotten around that Spy Karen was back in action. Karen panicked, tripped over her own feet, and fell right into my flower bed. "Dirt everywhere!" She scrambled up, yelling, "Stop filming me!" Too late. She was already trending again. The next morning, a police cruiser pulled up in front of her house. Turns out, one of the viewers on my live stream was an off-duty cybercrime officer. He'd recognized the illegal tracking device I'd found earlier and filed a formal report. They questioned me, took my footage, and within an hour, officers were knocking on Karen's door. She tried to play victim again, crying about privacy and online bullying, but the evidence was too strong. The tracker she planted had her fingerprints, and the doorbell footage sealed the deal. The cops left with the tracker as evidence, and Karen with a summons for trespassing and unlawful surveillance. The internet exploded. Spy Karen started trending again, this time with clips of her falling into the flower bed. Someone even edited it to dramatic music. By the end of the week, Karen took down her social media, avoided everyone in the neighborhood, and even put her house up for sale. As for me, I shut down Karen Vision, not because I had to, but because my point was made. She wanted to invade my privacy. Instead, she became an online legend for all the wrong reasons. And as I stood on my porch sipping my morning coffee, I smiled at the router sitting quietly on the shelf. No more trackers, no more drama. Just fast Wi-Fi and the sweet, sweet sound of karma buffering.